What I want to emphasize first and foremost is that the shift from shadows to strengths is not something that you arrive at and never have to do again. But instead, shifting from shadow behavior, our highly sensitive shadows, to strength behavior, our highly sensitive strengths, is a muscle that you want to build so that you have access to it more easily and more quickly, more often. So write that down. We're not looking to eradicate shadows in the same way that when we talked about the coping cycle, we spoke about how the coping cycle is not bad, or your coping mechanisms are not bad. But instead, it's about strengthening the muscle so that you can more easily and more quickly and more often catch yourself in shadow behavior and create the shift to strengths. Why is this important? It makes everything more productive and creative and fruitful. From business, work, to every aspect of life, including all of your most important relationships. In order to be able to develop that muscle, to develop that skill, to be able to shift from shadow to strength, I would like to bring up the shadow to strength pathway. For some of you, you're probably seeing this for the first time. For many of you, you have seen this pathway before. Yet it is very valuable and worthwhile to return to as a training. Where I'd like us to focus first is on the drama aspect of the shadow strength triangle pathways. So you're going to look at the word drama, and then the words that fall underneath drama are rescuer, persecutor, and victim. This comes from a theory and teaching referred to as the Karpman Drama Triangle, which is a social model of human interaction, and it was created by Stephen B. Karpman, K-A-R-P-M-A-N. If it's helpful, you can take a moment and you can literally draw a triangle between those three words. Rescuer, one point of the triangle; persecutor, second point of the triangle; victim, third point of the triangle. This triangle maps a type of destructive interaction that occurs among people in conflict. It also refers to interpersonal conflict, meaning within yourself. The drama triangle is a tool used in psychotherapy, and specifically in an approach called transactional analysis. And it's a triangle of actors in the drama that we are either persecuting, or we are a victim, or we are a rescuer. It's a triangle because it shows that we tend to not only bounce between all three within ourselves, but we play out these particular dramas within dynamics in all of our relationships. The Karpman Triangle is often also referred to as DDT, which stands for the dreaded drama triangle. Wow. The roles within the drama triangle are very disempowering. We give away our power, believing that we are beholden to persecution, to rescuing, to victimhood. Then let's look at the next column, which is empowerment, and the words that fall under empowerment: coach, challenger, and creator. These make up the empowerment dynamic triangle, or otherwise referred to as TED, the empowerment dynamic, or otherwise known as the TED triangle. This triangle was developed by David Emerald Wommeldorf, who is a master speaker, teacher, facilitator, and storyteller. And this was his creation as the ways to escape from the dreaded drama triangle. So TED inspires the realization that choice can lead to a positive approach to any of life's challenges. That when you find yourself in the drama triangle, there's actually an empowered way out. Now let's look at the end columns, the shadow column: over responsibility, over protection, and overwhelm. And then the strength column: empathy, intuition, and creativity. This is the highly sensitive shadow triangle and the highly sensitive strength triangle. Designed and developed by yours truly, Heather Dominic. So what we have here is it shows us the specific pathway, and particularly how the drama triangle and the TED triangle relate specifically to us as highly sensitives, showing not only how we can bounce between the shadows of over-responsibility, over-protection, and overwhelm, but more importantly, how to get out of them. To recognize that when we are in over-responsibility, we are caught in the drama of rescuing. But we see our way out, which is through the coach and through our highly sensitive strength of empathy. And then the same for every single pathway, from overprotection to intuition, from overwhelm to creativity. Now, this connects to fear versus intuition, and we go back to Dan Siegel's representation of the brain. And when we are in our shadows or the drama, our lid is flipped. We can use something like snapping, power poses, energy management to support us in accessing empowerment, to accessing our strengths so that we can flip the switch. Bringing the lid down, accessing our amygdala, that frontal cortex, which gives us access to creative solutions, being able to empathize, put ourselves in someone else's shoes, access our intuition as guidance, or our strength of creativity, again, the gateway to creative solution. So how to really work with the shadow strength triangles and these pathways is that the shadows and the drama, rather than becoming triggers that enact us into behavior of rescuing, persecuting, or feeling and being a victim, but they become signals or ways that we are touched, reminded, wait, there is another way. Coach, challenger, creator, empathy, intuition, and creativity. Let's take a breath in and let it out.